Hi, Billo here. I want to talk to you today about how I cured myself of depression in about 45 minutes. Now, this was very serious depression, very serious. Every day for week after week, month after month, year after year, every day I thought about ending it. I didn't tell anybody, I just dealt with it. It's very difficult and unpleasant, but I got rid of it. It took me 45 minutes. It worked for me, it might not work for you. So, what can I say? I mean, I'm telling you what worked for me, and you can try it or not. So, anyway, here's what I did. Let me first of all give you a sample of what I did, because it's the same technique that comes from NLP, or Neuro-Linguistic Programming, and it's a way to end very simple habits, and I call these habits single trigger habits. And what's a single trigger habit? We store habits in a very primitive part of our brain, and they're triggered. Something triggers them. It could be a sound, a picture, a place. And single trigger habits, as I call them, are triggered by a mental picture that pops up in our mind, and it triggers this habit. The subroutine plays, and then that's it. So, I also believe, by the way, that habits really reach a very primitive part of our brain that's similar to what happens under hypnosis. That I've never been under hypnosis, but when I've talked to people about it, they say they're aware of what's going on, but they feel compelled. And if you've ever had a habit and become conscious of that you're actually engaged in the habit, you may find it very difficult to stop eating pizza, whatever it is that's your habit. Once the habit's triggered, it takes over control of our brain to some extent. We can still think about things, but the habit will run its course. The way you change a habit is not changing it, but by making a new one that has the same trigger, but a different routine. So let's talk about ending the habit of biting your nails. And I actually tried this on somebody and it worked. And it's very simple. And this will get us into my depression cure that worked on me, which is almost exactly the same thing. So here's how you do it. I'll tell you how to do it, and then I'll show you. What you do is you take the picture that's in your mind that triggers the habit, let's say a bite in your nails, and you put a different picture. And so what happens is that you never visualize the picture that triggers the habit. Now, how do you change the picture? Well, that's the technique. What you're going to do is you're going to visualize it, and then you're going to have the picture what you want break through the one that you don't want. Let me talk you through it. It's kind of silly, so you may want to do this in private if you do it at all. So let me see if I can get this set up, hopefully. Okay, so here's what you do. So we're gonna use three parts of our body. We're gonna use the physical part, we're gonna use sound, that's the silly part, and we're gonna use the picture, and that's probably the most important part, but all three work together. So what happens when people bite their nails is right before they start biting their nails, in their mind pops up a picture of their hand right in front of their face. So they're doing something, all of a sudden the picture pops up. They've seen it so many times they don't even see it anymore. It just pops up, gone. So basically unconscious by this point, because they've seen it so many times. It takes so little mental firepower that it drops below our conscious level. So the picture of our hand in front of our face pops into our mind, triggers the habit. We're biting our nails, we're doing something, we stop, go, oh no, ah. So how do we change this? We're going to take the picture of what we don't want. Let me make this clear, because I'll be closing my eyes at a certain point. So take the picture of what we don't want. We close our eyes, we see what we don't want, the hand in front of our face. Okay, got it. Open your eyes. Now, let's see the picture of what we want. Well, what we want is, we want a picture, could be anything pleasant, but we're in the picture. So it's not point of view, it's third person. We see ourselves in the picture with our friends and family. maybe on a tropical island, sitting in hammocks, drinking fruit drinks, laughing. It's a very happy scene. Okay, so close your eyes and visualize that very happy scene in your inner. And when you got it's very clear, it's going to make you happy. It's going to be a happy scene. But in any case, it's a different scene, so open your eyes. Now we've got two different pictures. So what we're going to do is put the picture what we don't want, take the picture what we want, we're going to stretch it out as if it's on a slingshot. We feel it in our mind, stretching out to the horizon. I call this horizon attack. We feel the tension, then we let it go. We move our arms in towards ourselves, and we say, whoosh! And we also see the picture, very high speed, the picture what we want, smashing through the picture what we don't want on our mental screen. So here we go. I close my eyes. I got the picture of what I don't want. I got the picture of what I want. It's stretched way, way, way out there. It's just a little dot, and I feel the tension like the slingshot pulled way back. And you do this with high speed. That's very important. Take this way back, and here we go. And if you do this enough like me, you actually physically feel something pushing you back, and you laugh. Laughter, I think, is something about rewiring the circuits of our brain, although I don't know. Anyway, this technique, you want to close your eyes again and do it again. Picture what you don't want. Okay, biting your nail, hand in front of your face. Okay, picture what you want. Picture it's way, way out there, out to the horizon. Feel the tension. It's way, way out there. Picture what you really want to experience way out there. Ready? High speed. Well, I told you it is kind of silly. But now, what does this have to do with depression? It turns out that there was a study at Stanford, I just read the headline, didn't read the actual study or even the article, that said that a very high percentage of clinically depressed people, maybe I recollect 80%, each one had a personal picture that popped into their mind right before they got depressed. And each time right before they got depressed. And again, right before they got depressed. Well, so many times you're not going to see the picture anymore. That's what happens. If you see it in your mind enough, it'll drop, become subliminal. You won't actually be conscious of it. It'll still be there. You're still seeing it. You're just not conscious of it. So what you do is you can try to see, if you're depressed, you can try to see what is the picture that's popping in your mind. It's going to be personal for you, and it's going to be probably some sense of loss. Maybe you were abandoned, you couldn't find your parents, you were lost someplace, or maybe your pet died or something more serious, and something very, very sad happened. You felt very sad, and that picture is the one that keeps popping back up in your mind so many times, and each time it comes in, you feel really sad. So maybe you can find the picture, maybe not. It doesn't matter, because you get as close as you can to finding the picture of what you don't want, which is maybe yourself left alone in a room, whatever. You see yourself like looking out, there's nobody there. Doesn't matter. You try and find the picture. You get that picture in your mind, or as close to it as you can. You take the picture what you want. Again, a very happy picture. You stretch it out. It's the same technique. You stretch it out. You feel the tension way out there and very fast. You just blast it right through the picture what you don't want. Now, for whatever it is, biting nails or any depression, for me anyway, you do this maybe 10 times. You do it with high speed and great enthusiasm. At first, you're going to kind of go whoosh, but you're going to get better and better at this the more you do it. I have anyway, and it's kind of fun. And so you do this about 10 times. What will happen is when you try and call up the picture what you don't want, you won't be able to. Because what's happened is that when it starts to come up, your mind substitutes the other one. So do this for about 10 times, high speed, great enthusiasm. Next day, refresher, do it another 10 times. And that's it for me. For a couple of habits I used, including the habit of being depressed, gone. If I start feeling down a little bit, I try to remember what I did and I do it again. And that's my depression cure. Good luck.